Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, April 8th, and we just got to the studio bright and early. It's about 8:30 a.m. We got our breakfast there, we got our water, we just did a little bit of yoga, and we are starting the back half of this week off strong. I'm feeling really excited today. It is my first mentor session with my new mentor for this quarter, Kerry Leva. Y'all don't even know how pumped I am to have Kerry as my mentor. I think it would really benefit me to do some music production in the mornings. I find sometimes if I edit the vlog right away, it does take up a lot of mental energy. So I'd rather spend my mornings doing something creative. I am feeling so excited today. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a really good day. We just had our very first mentor session with Kerry Leva, and oh man, that was intense. It's one thing to share with peers and, send your music to people you respect to get feedback, but like somebody who is a teacher at Icon, like thoroughly analyzing your work and trying to bring you using their strengths to the next level. It's pretty nerve-wracking, but I truly think that we are going to do great work. I mean, I'll just give you a little recap. My first quarter, I was with Icon instructor Jerry DiFilippo, totally butchered that, sorry. And we went over basically understanding how to mix things properly while making them very powerful sounding in the mix. Huge level up to my work there. Second quarter, Paul Lasky, we basically worked on workflow, doing a track a week, getting it to the arrangement phase. Biggest takeaway from that, I'm actually a lot further along than I thought I was with getting the fundamentals of a track in place. Quarter three, Kerry Leva, big singer-songwriter, an expert in theory. Basically, this entire quarter is going to be about mixing, it's going to be about theory, it's going to be about melody writing. Really great first mentor session. I love these mentor sessions. One of my top 3 favorite things about Icon. We are just going to get the vlog posted from the beginning of the week, and then that'll be it. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, April 9th. We just got to the studio bright and early, 8:30 a.m. Quinoa breakfast bowl on the go. Coffee right there. Serum is open. We are doing our sound recreation assignment number 6. This is the last basic sound recreation assignment before we move on to advanced synthesis. That is our main focus, our main priority this morning. It's Friday, we're feeling good, and we're about to finish Unit 1 of Level 3. Welcome back to another episode of Future Friday. Future Friday is my vlog segment where I show you something that stood out for me this week at Icon in the hopes that it will help you with your future production. All this week, we did a subtractive synthesis review, which included some new tips and tricks. This is basically what I call post-effects processing, in that you utilize saturation, delay, reverb after the synthesizer in order to take your sound to the next level. Let me just pop open Dune 3 here, which is my synthesizer of choice, and let me turn off everything, and let's hear this simple little bass line. I think it sounds pretty good already, but now let's break down what I've actually done. So this is kind of the mid-bass driver. I would use this for an intro. So I'm going to cut these low frequencies because that's where the sub is going to come in. So now we have this. And so now let's open iZotope's Trash 2. And this is probably the best, most versatile distortion plugin available on the market. There are many different kinds of saturation plugins. This one's versatile because you can actually use this multi-band feature and you can distort each frequency band and do something different with it, which is absolutely amazing. You can mix it in, you can just get super creative. So I went through a bunch of these different presets and then messed around with the drive, gain, mix, and I think we got something sounding really good. Let's take a listen. Okay, so it's definitely a little more in your face. Definitely got that distortion going on, adding those harmonics, sounding really, really good. Let's go down here. So I actually created this audio effect rack, which essentially acts as a return. And so I'm able to duplicate the signal and affect it without lowering the volume. So I actually have another saturation on here. So let's just hear that one. It's very simple, crush and crunch. So I'm literally adding exactly that. We'll go down to the next one. We got Little Altar Boy. And so let's just listen to this one. We have this hard tune drive on with a little bit of formants just to give it a little bit of a different sound. But we've made this one completely mono because our original sound is this very wide bass pad. So now we're filling up the middle section too with this. I've also gone ahead and decreased it by -8 dB. It just felt like we were missing something, but that's where all the kick and the sub information is, so we don't want to muddy that up too much. So let's go down here, and this is where I have a little Valhalla delay all the way down to -30, and this is just a simple diffused delay. Now let's listen to all of that together. My next plugin, SciQ. This is also from Sound Toys. Basically, what I have this doing is similarly to not wanting to muddy up the center, I have the mids here decreased by 4 dB. But then also the rest of the frequencies are getting just a little tiny bit of drive. So let's hear that off first and on. You can almost not hear it, but it does slightly scoop out that middle. And I think that it will really help when the kick and sub are also playing. Then we move over here. We got our Fab Filter Pro C, which is a compressor. And we have some just super basic settings. It's not really going to compress that much. We just want to control the peaks because we are pushing that saturation pretty hard. Take a listen with that on. And off. So yeah, it is pushing down about -5, which I think is helping the sound feel a little bit more controlled. And last but not least, we have another EQ, and what I like to do is I'll use the EQ 8 to just get rid of the frequencies I know I don't want right away, and then I'll actually go in later with my Pro Q3 because it's probably the best EQ on the market, and I will then shape my sound. And so for this, we've got this shelf going on here because we don't really want a ton of this high-end frequency as this is a bass, and should we produce this fully out, other elements like synth and or vocal will need to come in. We also cut off some of the highs, and so just let me show you how this one sounds. Once again, a little more controlled. Let's turn it off. And on. So once again, we are just using this EQ to control some of the higher frequencies. And that's the sound. I actually sound designed this Above and Beyond club bass pad myself. It's these effects that you can add to really take it to the next level, especially if you're just using preset packs. Now, I'm definitely not a hater on preset packs. I've used many. I have tons and tons of presets. So being able to add effects in order to change the sound and shape it the way that you want is a critical skill in my opinion. So the foundation of the sound is already starting strong, and then we can start to shape it with these different distortion plugins, and then before you know it, it's unrecognizable from where you started. All right, that's gonna do it for Future Friday today. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, April 10th. We're having a really good morning so far. We stayed at home for most of the morning, got a nice breakfast in with Becca, and we decided let's get to the freaking studio because we are introducing a brand new vlog segment called Sound Design Saturdays. And honestly, sound design, as you know, since you've been following the vlog, it's one of my favorite things. One of my very favorite things that I've been learning at Icon. And I come from the background of basically just tweaking presets. I know pretty well all the fundamentals, all the basics with effects and tweaking your filter, blah, 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 blah. But Icon Collective has given me the building blocks to being able to create my own sounds from scratch. And so naturally right now, I am creating sounds that are inspired by other artists. Some of my very favorite presets, one of the things I like to do is I'll put one synth up and then I'll pick another and I'll basically recreate my favorite presets in a different synth. And by doing that, it kind of enables me to customize it and tweak it to my own preference. So not only am I literally, but I'm figuratively sound designing what resonates better with me. So according to my ear and my taste, I can recreate these sounds in any way that I want. And so far, the results of just allowing myself to experiment have been amazing. The coolest part about this is I've actually reached out to a couple companies that release preset and sample packs. So yeah, I contacted them and said, hey, would you be down if I could build a preset pack to release it with me? And they were like, yeah, if you could create a sample pack and everything sounds professional, like I think that a Dune 3 sample pack would do really well. We're not going to stick with just Dune. We will cycle through all of our favorite synthesizers. We just want to practice on different synthesizers that offer different options, and obviously the algorithms of each synthesizer is different, so you get a little bit of a different sound from each of them. So that's why I don't just want to practice on one, I want to practice on as many as I can to really nail down this new skill. We're gonna get to work, and I can't wait to show you what we come up with today. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce this new vlog segment, Sound Design Saturdays. And this vlog segment is going to be all about keeping myself accountable to continuing my sound design journey. On this vlog segment, I'm going to spend every Saturday doing sound design, whether that's taking inspiration from some of my favorite presets, whether it's from another track, whether it's just a sound I got in the old brain. That's what this is all about. Of course, there'll be tips and tricks, and basically through learning the fundamentals with Icon Collective, I've kind of come to the conclusion that synthesis isn't as complicated as it sounds. And so not only is my goal to stay accountable, build preset packs, maybe to sell one day, maybe to give away as well. Also, just to continue to demonstrate to you that synthesis isn't all that complicated. It takes practice, it takes learning the proper fundamentals, and just getting experimental and having fun with it. That's the biggest thing that I've found is when I think I need to achieve a sound or I'm just not able to do it, I start to get impatient, like this sound isn't working, this is not what I wanted, where I'm trying to conform what's in my head to what's actually happening in reality. And truth be told, what is happening could also be a really cool sound. That's a big explanation. Sound Design Saturdays went really well today. And what I'm gonna do is, I got that on screen record. We got the keyboard here. We are going to jump in. I'm gonna play a bunch of melodies from all the sounds that I made today. All right, so if we look here, we have the Elated presets folder that I created for Dune 3. SDS1, Sound Design Saturdays 1. Let's go in here. And today I created 9 presets. Let's check them out. First we'll start with this acid ARP bass. And we're just gonna cycle through. Delirious rolling bass. Detuned uber stacked saw lead. Let's do some big chords for this one. Little pluck accent. Little house chord stab. Stranger love pluck. Superstar saw lead. Number 8, techno sky saw lead. And then last but not least, a thing called club bass. And so those are the presets that I created for Synapse Audio's Dune 3. I'm really enjoying creating and just giving myself an entire day to create presets, to practice my subtractive synthesis in order to continue to get better and better and better. It's all it's going to take is just practice, practice, practice. These big sound designers didn't get to where they are overnight. Like, this is years and years and years of dedication. So I'm super happy with where we're at. Yesterday, for that Future Friday segment, it was all about that post-effects processing. So I can get a sound like this, and then I can take what I've created here and then add a bunch of different post effects. So hopefully that can provide you with just a little bit of insight. It could show you where I'm at and maybe even inspire you to start doing the same. The last thing I'll say about this is, there was a few times I was just listening to music, I'd hear a really cool bass line or some crazy detuned techno thing, and I went to try to create it and couldn't really do it. Couldn't figure out which oscillators they were using, probably something unique that they drew in, and I felt myself start to get frustrated, but I caught it quick and I went, whoa. This is sound design. This is all about experimenting. This isn't even about copying whatever the reference material is exactly. This is about hearing something and going, oh, that's a pretty sick sound. Let me see how I can recreate that through my own taste. And so far, I am loving the result of this. There's no judgment, there's no caps, there's no limitations. It's just, I'm free to create. All right, that is it for Sound Design Saturdays today. We'll see you next week.